is raw 80s.
I think the people who are looking at the house, I think they're doing it wrong.
Like being stuck in an orange juice carton. In today's complicated housing market, if your house is out of date, you might be out of luck. No one wants to live in a house that's stuck in the past. So sometimes I gotta play hardball with sellers, tell them to wake up and check the date. Modernise your house, stop living on memory lane, and get your home sold. This house is in a really attractive and upscale neighbourhood. It's got 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and a finished basement. At 1,200 square feet, this 1930s bungalow is smaller than some of the neighbouring houses, so it's priced for size at $549,000. But after 37 viewings and not 1 but 2 real estate agents, owners David and Sherie haven't had a single offer. So that's why they've asked for my help to get this house sold. Sherie works in wholesale fashion, and husband David in IT. They have 3 boys, Max, Sammy, and Evan. For the past 18 years, they've been happy in their house, for the most part. Winters, at least for Sherie, are another story.
I feel like I'm in jail in the winter, and I get very sad. For the last couple of years, it's been really bad.
The kids even notice it, like, where's Mommy in bed? Like, during the winter.
So they finally decided to move south for good.
In my head, I just keep on thinking, our new house in Florida. Our new house in Florida.
Everything down?
But their dream is on hold. They can't sell their house.
The real estate team is working as hard as they could. Open houses, brochures, it's on the MLS. It hasn't worked. It's been on the market for 6 weeks, but 6 weeks in this neighborhood is a long time.
For Sherie and David, the problem isn't the house, it's the buyers.
I think the people who are looking at the house, I think they're doing it wrong.
They want to walk in and see it completely done. And we're saying, well, why can't you use your imagination?
The reality is starting to hit home.
Yes, I was surprised it didn't sell right away. I was thinking, oh, great, 2 weeks, we're out of here. That didn't happen.
Sherie and David's bungalow is close to shops, public transit, and a major expressway. That's literally on the other side of their backyard fence. Its proximity to downtown means detached houses here normally sell in a matter of days, for an average of $700,000. But after 9 open houses, they haven't had a bite, despite the fact their house is considerably less. From the outside, this looks like a charming bungalow in a great neighbourhood. So why hasn't it sold? I can't wait to get inside and find out. Wow. Black and pink. I have never in all my days seen a pink television cabinet. Oh, and the carpet. It doesn't cost much to rip it up. Hardwood under carpet in living room, dining room, second bedroom and hallway. This with a kind of JPEG of a hardwood floor, it's not going to do anything. I have to admit, I'm not really a fan of the glass dining room table and black shiny chair combo. But when you combine that with mirrored glass, faux stone, 80s side tables, it's almost like being in an 80s furniture museum. Look at this. It's analog. Oh. This black and pink 80s theme has to go. You know, it's not new by any stretch of the imagination, but it's clean, it's decluttered, it's not terrible. And back to the 80s. Vinyl storage unit. It is much too big for this room. We're in a little bungalow, blocking a window. Why? I was not expecting to see a fireplace in here. It's a bit of a shame this is a bedroom, actually. It would be a much better family room. It would really maximise the use of space, especially since this small bungalow has to compete against larger homes in the area. Turning the corner, there's a strange glow. Ooh, an orange bathroom. I mean, really orange. Like being stuck in an orange juice carton. I have my work cut out for me in this house. For $549,000, buyers are going to expect more than an 80s flashback. The pink and black theme is hideous. The vinyl storage unit barely fits in the master bedroom, the basement's been taken over by teenagers, and the bathroom is tangerine. Unless we can bring it into the 21st century, it's going to remain unsellable. If Sherie and David want to start a new life in Florida, they have to listen up. First things first, I love your house. With beautiful details like the Art Deco fireplace. Buyers love that. Now, the pink and the black is raw 80s.
It was a mistake. It just went up on the walls. I wanted to change it, and David didn't want to change it, and it's just here. We're just living with it.
A deal breaker for potential buyers. People don't like wall-to-wall carpets anymore, and they especially don't like old carpets, because so many kids these days have allergy problems. This is something that you can do that's going to make a big impact. And I was surprised to see the signs, because your real estate agent's job is to tell people.
She tried.
Yeah.
And then that didn't work.
Okay.
So
She thought
maybe the signs would work.
Right, well, we're not going to need the signs, because we're going to rip out this old carpet, reveal the hardwood floors underneath. We need for buyers to see it with their own eyes.
100% right.
Now, the master bedroom. That ginormous, shiny vinyl unit.
Oh, that's like 22 years old.
It makes the room look smaller, it blocks out the natural light. And 2 windows is better than 1. From my experience in the property market, these things make a big difference.
Right.
Now, downstairs, I'd like to see that as a kind of downstairs family room.
It was
It
at
was.
one point with this wall unit. And
That pink cabinet is going on the side of the road. And then in the bathroom, that orange is so 70s. What is going on with that?
I don't like dull colors, and I do.
I can see that.
I know.
The bottom line when you're selling is you need your house to appeal to the broadest range of people possible.
Right.
So what we need to do to this house is bring it kicking and screaming from the 80s into the 2000s. So are you on board with me?
We are ready.
The sale of David and Sherie's house would seem like a sure thing, but they haven't received a single offer. You'd think with not 1, but 2 real estate agents beating the bushes, they'd have got a deal done. I want to speak to this dynamic duo to see what they're up to. What would you say the target market for this area is?
Young families or empty nesters.
How do you specifically target the family market, Alana?
Our advertising, the flyers we sent out, and in fact, we've had a lot of people at our open houses looking for their children, so I think we achieved that.
But it hasn't sold. So, what do you think the problems with the house are?
Most of our feedback is the house looks tired. The carpets, the wall color.
The price is $549. Do you think the fact that the house is tired should be reflected in the price?
I think it's priced well for the neighborhood. I think we may have listed it for a little bit more if the house was in a different shade.
Have you asked Sherie and David to take away the carpet and expose the hardwood floor?
I think we were really hoping that because the carpets were taken off in the master bedroom, like the floor was exposed, that would be enough for people to see the potential.
Over that wall is a subway and the expressway. I wanted to know what the agents were doing to make this fact appealing to buyers.
The sound barrier wall has been unbelievable. Purposely, every time we do an open house, we keep the back windows open and we tell people, go and listen.
How do you underplay the problem?
There's always some good in everything. If you can hear the subway, you can also walk to the subway. We have ferocious winters. If you don't want to drive, and if you're close enough to hear the subway, you're close enough to walk, even on the coldest winter day. You're close to shops. The roads are nearby.
There's a silver lining in every cloud.
Absolutely.
If we rip up the carpets, expose the hardwood floor, change the crazy pink and the tangerine orange, basically give this house some wow factor, do you think it will sell?
I have every reason to believe that it has a great chance of selling.
To motivate David and Sherie, I'm taking them to a house of comparable size that sold in 2 weeks for just under the asking price. Come on in, guys. And what's the first thing you notice when you walk in the room?
The fireplace.
If you've got a really lovely focal point, like a fireplace, you want to show it off. Do you like the hardwood floors here?
Yeah.
It makes everything look opened.
What do you notice about the colour?
It's fresh and
And it's not pink.
It's not 80s. It looks, you know, modern and fresh. You don't want to impose your own personal taste on your house when you're selling.
I see where you're going.
Well, that certainly makes things easier. This is exactly the same size as your bedroom, pretty much. It looks considerably bigger.
Not as cluttered as ours.
Yeah.
And that's because you don't have this huge white storage unit. It makes the room feel half the size. It blocks out the window. We need to get rid of it.
Right.
And what do you think about the colour?
It's neutral. It's it will go with anything.
Exactly. And a lot of buyers don't want to do any work. So if your house is move-in ready, modern, sleek, it's going to be a winner. I know that this house was popular with buyers because it sold for 92% of the asking price. So your house, once you take up the carpet, paint the walls, taking away the 80s theme to it, it's going to look big, it's going to look bright, and it's going to immediately wow the buyers. So are you ready to go back to your house and tackle those issues?
Well, let's go for
Let's do it.
Contractor Anthony Sayers is going to help make it happen. Buyers don't like wall-to-wall carpet. They like hardwood floors. You've got to give buyers what they want. It's as simple as that.
This carpet needs to go. And once the carpet is up, we'll fix the transition between the baseboard and the floor with just some quarter round.
I personally love the 1930s radiators, but it's all about what the buyers want. Some people prefer a more finished look, so we're going to give it to them.
I think that rad covers are going to give this house a new look. I want to disassemble the wall unit in the bedroom, in the basement.
It's not really a bedroom because it's got a ginormous fireplace in. It's not really a family room. It's crucial when you're selling your house that every room has a clear function so buyers cannot be confused.
I want to do a built-in entertainment unit.
Wow.
That will help define the room.
And then the orange bathroom.
Yes, we need to neutralize the colors.
They're too garish. They're going to put some people off.
Right.
Now, are we ready to do that?
We are ready.
Come on, then.
Thank you.
Well-maintained storage gives the appearance of a much larger home. Buyers look for enough room for all their stuff they never use as well.
So much stuff.
Oh, jeez.
What you show is what you get, so invest a few hours by finishing off those little repair jobs. The appeal of your home is dramatically reduced if potential buyers catch sight of them.
Now we know why the mirror's there.
To attract a successful sale, remove bulky pieces. Let buyers actually see how good your home could look, rather than forcing them to guess.
We were like pack rats. You feel lighter. It's a bright day today.
Sherie and David's house has been on the market for 6 weeks. Despite 9 open houses and 37 viewings, there has been no interest from buyers. To make their house sellable, we've got just 3 days until the open house. To start the transformation, we're adding radiator covers in the living room. They're a feature buyers expect at this price point.
This is a very simple project, but it will help modernize the look of the room. This is just called screening panel. This is something that you would have to special order from your local building stores. And I attach the screening to the back of this facing, nail everything together, and it's beautiful.
Now, on to solve the next stumbling block to a potential sale, the ratty carpet. I think a lot of buyers would be intimidated by this carpet and they wouldn't know how to rip it up. Is it difficult?
No, it's not. It's fairly easy. First, do a spot check.
To see if the hardwood floor is in good condition.
Lift the carpet.
So there it is.
There's hardwood.
It is in quite good shape, actually. There's a bit of paint on it, but that's easy to get rid of. When you pull it up, presumably there's lots of holes in the hardwood floor. What
Yeah.
do you do with them?
The quarter round will close the transition between the hardwood and the baseboard.
Yeah.
You won't see the holes
Okay.
because the quarter round will hide it.
Okay, well, I'll leave you to it.
We're finally putting Sherie and David's teenage boys to good use. And I'm going to do my part to help these floors.
I've been banished outside to paint the quarter round. We need to paint it this cream colour so it matches the existing trim. Then all we have to do is nail it in place and the buyers will see all that great hardwood instead of the manky grey carpet.
In the living room, the garish pink was an easy reason not to buy this house.
Are you painting?
Yes, I am.
What do you think of the grey?
It's covering the pink.
You wouldn't mind. It could be any colour as long as it's covering the pink. It's all about bringing different colour elements together so everything looks tied in.
Yep.
Well, anyway, carry on painting.
Thank you.
With the work nearing completion, adding finishing touches persuades buyers to choose this house over the competition.
Now, this is the focal point of our new wow factor family rooms. All we did is got a ceramic tile that you put in a bathroom or a kitchen, add a few fairy lights, voila, it looks much neater. Someone put a white switch plate on a cream dimmer switch. It just doesn't look very nice, so I'm going to replace it. Put that there. Easy peasy. You don't always have to place your furniture parallel or pushed up against walls. If you angle the furniture just a bit, it helps draw people's eyes to the focal points in the room.
Now that Sherie and David's house has finally entered the 21st century, will they be any closer to a sale?
David and Cherie's house is now ready for sale. We've taken it from an 80s time capsule and turned it into a chic and sophisticated modern home. Let's just hope the buyers love it as much as I do.
Sherie and David thought leaving their home as is would get a sale. The pink and black living room was a case in point. But now the hardwood floor has been set free. Their furniture has been rearranged, making the fireplace the focal point, and the radiator covers add sophistication. Neutral wall paint, area rugs, and contemporary accessories make a great first impression. The master bedroom had great bones, but was just as crime-ridden. And the change didn't break the bank. We removed the vinyl wall unit, uncovering space and natural light, and created an accent wall using a dramatic colour. We've added luxurious linens that buyers expect in this upscale neighbourhood. The tangerine bathroom was definitely a throwback, but it's amazing what a lick of neutral paint, cute urban knickknacks and modern lighting can do to update a basement bathroom. The basement bedroom needed reconfiguring and a lesson in style. We changed it into a family room, showing buyers that this small bungalow has a whole other level of living space. A new wall unit, repurposed furniture, and a touched-up fireplace give this room a new warmth. We've given Sherie and David's home a contemporary elegance. This house is certainly worthy of the savvy and discerning family that's looking in this neighbourhood.
It is crucial to know what's important to your target buyer. In this high-end market, people expect to see hardwood floor. Carpet is generally a turn-off, so if in doubt, rip it out. If your house is a bit of a throwback, you have to do something about it. A good general rule is you should do a renovation every 5 years, and painting is the easiest and most cost-effective way of updating the interior of your home. I have seen time and time again rooms that need to be repurposed. If you've got a shower that's become a storage unit or a family room that's become a bedroom, it's time to do a shuffle round before the for sale sign goes up.
Now that we've brought Sherie and David's home into the present, will they move into the future?
Wow.
Oh my God, what an amazing improvement.
Oh my God, it's fit for a queen.
It's wallpaper.
It's wallpaper.
Oh my gosh, that's
It's
amazing.
amazing. I love this part.
No wall unit.
I think we should just stay.
Yeah, awesome.
Where's the orange?
The color is incredible. What colors are on this wall? I think I'm gonna take those numbers down. Guys, what do you think?
Nice.
Nice. It's
This
beautiful.
looks great.
Oh my God, this is absolutely outrageous. Oh my God, I won't be able to get you guys out of here if we.
Still want to move.
1, 2, 3, 4.
We are going to Florida. Changes look great, but you know what? The changes will look great for the new buyer. Anyone who walks in here has to love this. It looks like a brand new house.
All that's missing is a potential buyer.
What are you looking for? Tell me your story.
2-bedroom or 3-bedroom home that's modern. I like the colors.
The colour is very smart, and also you've got the hardwood floors.
Oh, I'm a hardwood floor man. Ah,
Pretty sophisticated.
and the headboard. Actually, that's beautiful.
Now, have you seen any properties yet?
Just a couple.
Just a couple.
Not as nice as this.
Oh, it's so pretty, the bathroom. I love it.
Yeah, the color is so soothing when you come in.
Think how many friends you could fit in here.
Would you like it, Jess?
Yeah. What are your thoughts on the whole house?
Well, for just the two of us, I think it's the ideal size.
So, you like the style? It's something you might consider coming back and having another look
Yeah,
at?
definitely.
Mission accomplished. We have fast-forwarded this house into the new millennium, and now all we need is a buyer to come along and sign on the dotted line.
After the Unsellables team left, David and Sherie got much more enthusiastic feedback from potential buyers. This house is unsellable no more.
It's been on the market for 6 weeks.
I'm looking for a more modern home.
Well, that is not a good start.
In our minds, everything looks great.
This is unacceptable. When you're selling your house, it can be really hard to know which home improvements are going to give you the best return on your investment. My job is to give guidance to homeowners to turn their unsellable houses into surefire sellers. At $279,000, this modest home in a family-friendly neighbourhood
Has 2 bedrooms, a separate dining room, a garage in the back, and is 960 square feet. It's been on the market for 6 weeks, and there hasn't been a single bite.
That is why I'm here to convert this unsellable house from sad to sold.
Gail works in marketing and event management, feisty and independent. She raises her 2 daughters, Chanel 19 and Tyra 15, on her own. They've been loving their home for more than 5 years.
Up or down?
Getting this home was like a milestone in my life. It was my first home. The kids and I were on our own. This was the perfect size for us at the time.
But the house doesn't suit their needs anymore.
I'm in the basement alone. I feel like I'm part of the family if I was upstairs with them.
This house is very small, and I need more space to move around.
I'm looking for a more modern home, something with a lot more space.
2 months ago, Gail took matters into her own hands.
I can sell it on my own. I don't need to bring in an agent. So I created my own listing. I did a mass email to a lot of people that I know. I also put it on an internal bulletin at my job, as well as on the internet.
But her plan backfired.
I didn't get a lot of interest. It was a disaster. After about 6 weeks of selling it on my own, I went and got a professional.
So for Gail, it's now or never.
In order for the kids and I to move forward, this house has to sell.
Gail's semi-detached house is one of many similar homes in this up-and-coming hotspot 20 minutes west of the city centre. Houses like hers sell in 15 days for around $300,000. And even though Gail listed her house at $279,000, with 4 open houses and 10 showings, she's had no offers.
Competition for affordable homes like Gail's is fierce, so why has it been on the market for 6 weeks? I'm gonna go and find out. Look, one good tug and I could literally rip this off. The paint is all peeling. There's a disassembled table over there. This porch is hazardous, unsightly.
And with this porch in this condition, there's no way Gail could talk any buyer into a sale.
Dining room with quite a lot of eclectic furniture. It's like someone sort of half-heartedly tried to make this house ready for sale. Peeling 80s peach wallpaper and a manky old carpet runner. I never understand why people put their largest pieces of furniture blocking the doorway, because it makes the room feel smaller because you've got to manoeuvre around. And they couldn't even put their blinds straight. Oh, I was expecting a terrible kitchen. Moving on through. This is unacceptable. You cannot sell a house with a back porch in this condition.
I dread to think what's upstairs.
This might be one of the worst paint jobs I've ever seen. I find it hard to believe that anyone thinks that you can show a house in this state and expect it to sell. No wonder Gail is feeling overwhelmed. Any buyer walking in off the street would feel exactly the same.
First, Gail thought she could sell her house without an agent. Second, because of its condition, buyers perceive her home as structurally unsound. And finally, people aren't willing to pay $279,000 and then spend even more money getting the house to the standard it should be.
And that, my friends, is what is stopping this house from getting sold.
If Gail wants to move, she needs to listen to what I have to say.
Gail, this house obviously holds good memories for you. It's your first house where you brought up your two girls.
Yeah.
When you first put your house on the market, you didn't put it on with a real estate agent. Why was that?
Well, I was thinking with my marketing and promotion background that I can use the same skills to market and promote the house.
Yeah.
I realize now that it's much more than an agent does and what I was trying to do, and I appreciate what they do.
A lot of people make up their minds about whether they want to buy a house in 60 seconds.
Right.
Now, they're going to spend at least 60 seconds on the porch checking out all the damage.
I was thinking that it was outside and it didn't really matter.
Curb appeal is very important. You look at 25 houses, you might drive past a few of them.
Right.
And if they don't look great from the outside, you might not even bother to go in the first place.
Okay.
The wallpaper in the hallway is literally coming off the walls. Now, you want buyers to think that the house is in tip-top condition, not just decorative-wise, but structurally as well.
I bought it the way it was, so I figured someone else could see the beauty in the house.
Now, the living room, the sofa you're sitting on is quite large.
Right.
And it's right in front of the doorway. I know. Much too big for the room.
We've been here for so long, we kind of got used to everything, and then in our minds, everything looks great.
Your bedroom. Would you say painting was your forte?
No. I thought it was, but it's not.
The problem when you choose a very, very strong colour is some people are going to like it, some people aren't. And the thing when you're selling your house is you don't want to alienate people. You want everyone to like it.
Right.
So are you ready to help me get this house sold?
Yeah, I'm ready because we're ready to sell and we're ready to move on.
This pocket of affordable homes in a close-knit uptown community is a golden ticket to first-time buyers. Gail's house has been on the market for 6 weeks. Initially, she went down the private sales route, but with little success, so she decided to employ a real estate agent. And I'm going to go and have a word with the agent, Deb, to see what she's doing to get this house sold. Debs, now Gail decided to sell her house privately. What would you say the pitfalls of choosing that route are?
First and foremost, she doesn't have access to MLS, which, of course, is accessible by over 25,000 agents. And along with that comes legal elements. So I think that when people try to sell their homes privately, they might become targets for somebody that might not have the purest thoughts. You know, this is where mortgage fraud and real estate fraud might enter into it.
How would you differentiate yourself from another real estate agent? What do you think you bring to the table?
Understanding the marketplace, what's happening in the particular area. So you're in a position to really be able to sell the house from the perspective not only of the seller, but of the buyer that might be looking to move in.
What advice did you give to Gail?
It's got to be extremely clean. People can be very forgiving of houses that don't meet their standard of decor and design, provided the house is sparkling.
What have you done to market the property so far?
There'll be an agent open house. There'll be weekend open houses. I have a database of over 1,000 people that I send out a print piece to. I also get on the phone and I call a lot of the local offices, make them aware that I'm sending through something to them to create an awareness at their office meetings.
First-time buyer coming through the house and they see the peeling paint, they see the slightly unstable porch. How do you turn the situation around?
If you say to them walking in the door, ignore the decor. Put your own stamp on this, but consider the fact that it's priced to sell.
Once we have sorted out the exterior, given it a fresh coat of paint, modernised the sitting room, the dining room and the master bedroom, are you confident that this is going to appeal to the first-time buyers?
I hope so.
Gail did the right thing by hiring an agent, but she still needs to see what a move-in ready house looks like. I'm taking her to one that sold in just 7 days for an incredible $57,000 over asking. OK, Gail, you want to invite the buyers in.
Right.
And you do that through curb appeal. So come on up to the porch. It's warm, it's inviting, it's well-maintained.
Yeah.
It bodes well for the inside.
Yeah.
Well, come on inside. Freshly painted front door. What is it specifically you like about this room?
The color they use for the paint is very soothing.
They've positioned the furniture perfectly. Doesn't feel crowded, clean, decluttered. Come through to the dining room. Now, what do you think of the flow between the sitting room and the dining room?
It's a great flow because the colors are the same, I notice, versus in my place, and the carpet continues from room to room.
We want to kind of create more of a flow, so your ground floor matches.
Got it.
Anyway, come up to the bedroom.
All right.
I always say to people, when you're choosing paint colours for a house, when you're for the purpose of sale,
Right.
go for colours that increase the sense of space and light in a room.
Right.
If people see peeling paint, the porch stairs falling off the back, they're going to think there are serious structural problems with your house, and that's going to scare them away.
Right.
This house sold in 7 days for 13% over asking.
Oh, wow.
We're going to make your house look as great as this.
I feel positive that I'm going to have a good outcome from it.
OK, well, if we stand around jabbering, we're not going to get anything done, so come on. Our general contractor, Anthony Sayers, is here to get Gail's house in tip-top condition. Now, Gail, this house has got me a bit worried because there is a lot of remedial work to do. Because remember what I said about curb appeal, people doing drive-bys and not necessarily coming in the house if it doesn't look in tip-top condition. And this porch does not scream by me.
We're gonna resand the front porch and repaint it.
Okay. We're gonna leave the wallpaper in the family room, sitting room. And we're going to make it work with the furniture we choose. We're going to have a nice retro feel to it.
We need to just repaint the whole stairwell and then re-carpet the stairs. The next is the master bedroom.
We want to put a brighter, more neutral colour in there, and they'll be able to see that it's a good, well-finished paint job. So are you ready to get a paintbrush out?
I'm ready.
Homeowners don't notice clutter hiding the best features of a home, but buyers do. Remove or store large items. People need to focus on the house, not on your furniture. Don't let a potential sale be ruined because of a dodgy booby trap. So think safety. Hazardous construction should be fixed or torn down. Knowing what buyers want is key to selling your home. This price point attracts first-time buyers who don't part with their money easily. Poor upkeep results in no offers. Even though the changes have barely begun, Gail knows there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
This whole process of making the changes to the house in order for me to sell is definitely an eye-opener, and I've learned a lot from it.
Gail's house has been on the market for 6 weeks. With 4 open houses and 10 showings, her dream to move to a turnkey home has been put on hold. We've only got 3 days before the open house. Improving the staircase will help get a sale. I'm just taking the last of the tacks out of the carpet so I can rip it out. I am so relieved we're getting rid of this carpet. It looks like the new runner is thin enough so Anthony can use a staple gun.
You want to staple it all the way along here. Make sure it's nice and secure, right? And then afterwards, you would put the nosing back, screw it down. See how it covers the carpet?
Covers it and presumably helps hold it in place.
Yeah. So I'm just using staples, and I'm gonna then tuck the carpet into each corner and then staple, a lot of staples again, all the way along. And then you repeat all the way down, same thing.
And 120 bucks later, you got yourself a brand new staircase.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty nice.
To keep one step ahead of the competition, Gail's walls need painting and repairing.
Tara, you missed a spot over here.
In this up-and-coming area, buyers want to see pride of ownership. So we're fixing Gail's porch.
I've already prepared this whole thing.
We've got to attach it to the wall there. How do we do that?
We're just gonna use these 3-inch wood screws.
Right.
Toe screw into the top rail, into the piece of wood that's been attached to the wall.
Did you say toad, as in the frog?
I said a toe screw.
Toe.
It's when you angle the screw, like downwards like that, or sideways.
How are we going to make this unwobbly?
I screw it in at the top and the bottom. Then I'll attach the railing coming up the stairs.
Okay. Are you using toe screws there
Yes,
as well?
again, yes.
See, I'm learning stuff. Careful with my legs, they're not insured.
There.
How do we neaten this up?
Well, we'll just make sure that the screws are countersink into the wood, and then I'll fill them with some wood filler.
And then we prime and paint it. And do we have to paint it in any kind of special outdoor paint? Because...
Yes, the exterior paint.
So is my job here done?
Yeah, you've been very helpful. There.
First-time buyers or young couples don't really want to have to do a lot of work themselves. You know, they're prepared to do a bit.
Right.
But if you make the house look a bit more finished, it's not going to scare anyone off.
Right.
I think you could do with a bit of practice in the painting department. So I might hand you the brush
Thank you.
come back and inspect in, you know, a little bit.
Alrighty.
It's a very important step, caulking this baseboard. It seals whatever gaps or cracks that you have so that when you're ready to paint, it will finish off nicely. Get your caulking, take the knife and just cut the tip of it, a 45-degree angle. And what you want to do is you want to test out a bead of caulk so that you make sure that you maintain an even bead as you're going. I don't want the caulking to set up and dry. So I'm just going to be working in 2 to 3 foot sections at a time. You want to pull the gun towards you. So you never want to push it because that will cause the bead to go uneven. You don't want to go too fast because then that will leave gaps. And I like to just use my finger because I find it works better. So I just damp it a little bit and just spread the caulking into the joint. All right, see how nice that is? And then you want to just let it set up for about 24 hours before you go ahead and paint it.
With the dirty work almost done, finishing touches are a necessity to attract the discerning buyer.
If you can't afford to reupholster, then slip covers are a fantastic way to update your furniture, and you don't have to customise them because there are plenty of colours and sizes online or in your local department store. If you've got a battered old staircase, a carpet runner like this one could be the answer to your prayers. It's a great problem solver because it spruces up and adds character and colour to what can be a bit of a dead space. Customised drapes can cost a bomb, but I'm going to let you into a little secret. You can pick up discount drapes at any home interiors store, and by adding some leftover material to the bottom, you have created a customised chic look for next to nothing.
With the updates complete, will buyers still treat Gail's house as a drive-by?
When I first walked into Gail's house, I was horrified by the amount of work we needed to do to get this house ready for sale. But now I couldn't be happier with the results.
No wonder Gail had a rough time selling her house. The first thing people saw was her rundown porch. Maximising curb appeal, we've built a new railing, as well as giving a fresh coat of paint to every surface. We've brightened up the front by planting some flowers too. So, by renovating the outside, we've added value to the inside. Buyers did an about-face in the mismatched dining room. We've created consistency by adding chic, modern chairs, crisp table linen, and bright wall paint. Ooh, and no more Las Vegas chandelier either. The hallway looked like a lot of work to first-time buyers. With the updated walls and a new carpet, people will no longer mistake this house as a DIY money pit. In the living room, Gail's oversized and badly placed sofas made this room look tiny. Keeping one couch and adding a few inexpensive pieces highlight focal points. We've given buyers a space they can see themselves living in. In the bedroom, buyers had issues with the sloppy paint job and the colour of the walls. New paint, curtains, linens and modern lighting turn this room into exactly the type of retreat people want to escape to. This house has all the class of $1 million home, but at an affordable price. We've changed the perception of Gail's house from a structurally unsound DIY project to a flexible living space that first-time buyers can truly appreciate. If you're thinking of selling your home yourself, you should check out these numbers first. Only 5% of homes are sold by their owners via the internet, compared to a whopping 81% sold by agents and brokers. Real estate agents have the experience needed to price your home effectively, so it can sell for up to 16% more than through private sale. Build a strong relationship with your agent. Get them to work for you. It's your house, and you have the right to approve any marketing strategies, including the information and photographs on your listing. With Gail's house looking the way she's always wanted, will she feel like leaving?
It's not shaking. I love the color. It's so bright in here. I love it. Ooh la 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 la. This is really super duper nice.
I'm so impressed with the changes that were done. And now I'm thinking I really have to get on it and find a place to live.
Gail is convinced. Now will Debs, her agent, be able to sell this house?
With this curb appeal, this invitation to come in, you have no idea how much easier it is going to be to sell this home.
Do you think this is what first-time buyers are looking for?
Absolutely. This is what's going to emotionally pull them in. That light fixture is heavenly. And people will look at that and they'll know they'll want to write that into the offer. They'll look at the draperies and they'll want to write that into the offer. Now I can say this is worth every penny that it's priced to.
Hooray! Gail's new agent approves. One last hurdle, the buyers.
This house is priced at $279,000.
That's amazing. Because most of the houses I've looked at are considerably more money and not nearly as nice. First-time buyer home, for sure.
A street appeal to a house is important to me.
So you've seen the house before?
Very quickly. I had a quick breezed in, breezed out as fast as I breezed in. I can imagine living here.
Do you think this has got what it takes as an investment property for you?
I think so.
We have converted Gail's modest, semi-detached house into a home that I think any first-time buyer would be proud of. Gail and her girls are one step closer to getting their unsellable house sold.
Sure enough, just after the Unsellables left, Gail accepted an offer of just under the asking price.
This house stands out like a sore thumb.
I have no interest in lowering the price.
He did not want people crawling through his house.
A masterclass on how not to present a room. When selling your house, it is essential to showcase your property's best features if you want a quick sale. Now, this can be more difficult in older homes that have been buried under the cloak of time. My mission is to help homeowners unlock the potential in their homes to ensure that sale. This grand Victorian semi is one of those unique homes that very rarely comes onto the market in this neighbourhood.
It's 3,000 square feet, has 5 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms and parking for 5 cars. It's listed at $699,000 and has been on the market for 5 long months.
Homeowner George is getting anxious. He's a photographer. He wants to travel the world, and he can't understand why the world is not beating down his door to buy this house.
Homeowner George has been living in this house for 30 years. He inherited it from his mother.
I've sort of grown up in this house, really, basically, and I have tremendous feelings about selling it.
George is an artist at heart with a wandering spirit. He wants to start a new chapter in his life.
Well, I would like to sell this place as quickly as possible so I can explore South America and take photographs for an exhibition in the future.
George has a real stubborn streak. Not only does he refuse to have open houses, but he actually turned down 6 offers already, which he felt were all too low.
I have no interest in lowering the price. Where in a downtown core you get a house that's 27-foot lot with parking for 4 or 5 cars.
He doesn't get why it hasn't sold at the full asking price.
Maybe people don't have the imagination to live in a large Victorian house.
George's house sits in a very multicultural neighbourhood only blocks from downtown. Previously a working-class area, professional families have turned it into an expensive pocket of real estate. Houses like George's sell in days for more than $715,000. At $699,000, on paper it sounds right, so what's wrong?
We have got an amazing location, and I cannot wait to peel back the layers, find out why this house isn't selling.
The colours don't give the best first impression to buyers.
This house stands out like a sore thumb. Blue and gold is very intense, and it might not be everyone's cup of tea. Wow, you have huge hallways, original mouldings and banister and hardwood floors. I love it. I do not love the smell of smoke, though. That really puts potential buyers off. It's such a shame. This could be the most fantastic room. Beautiful period details. You got the original fireplace, hardwood floors.
But this reception room isn't sumptuous enough for a house in this price range.
This room really lacks function. This should be a really cosy family room, sitting room. Wow, fab-sized dining room. From the old into the new. It's great that they've got a new kitchen. It's nice and bright. It's very clean and decluttered. This is the master bedroom and a masterclass on how not to present a room. You've got a stained mattress on the floor. The walls are in bad shape. I mean, look at this. This should be a reading nook, a tiny little sitting room, something useful and attractive. This house should be a Victorian gem in the heart of the city that people are falling over themselves to buy. But the asking price is too high for the state the house is in. People expect better room function, a higher standard of finishing and more upgrades. They need to be wowed. Instead, it smells of smoke. And these colours are just driving buyers away. And that is why it's unsellable.
To get George down to South America faster, he needs to hear the truth.
First of all, George, this is an absolute corker of a house. I love it. But we start outside. Did you choose the colours?
Yes, I did, yeah. Well, actually, when I painted it, they said it was a very bold colour in the neighbourhood.
I bet they did.
They said to go with the person that owned the house.
Right, yeah. And you're obviously quite a charismatic, bit of a character, George.
Yeah.
But I think the outside needs to be toned down just a touch.
Fair enough.
The problem is a lot of potential buyers get very nervous about the idea of painting exteriors. They don't have a lot of experience with it. So what I'd like to do is paint it a more neutral colour.
Yeah, fine.
The interior, the nicotine-stained neck curtains. How many a day do you smoke, George?
Far too many.
Well, I know what we need to do. First of all, we need to smoke outside from now on. And the smell of smoke, it's not really a great selling point, is it?
No.
Now, George, do you use the sitting room, really?
No.
No. I'd like to give that room back its function, so it feels like it gets used. Your bedroom. It's not exactly saying buy me at the moment, is it?
No.
And the thing is, you've got that great little side room. What do you use that side room for?
We can do the laundry in there.
I'd like to make it into something a bit more attractive, a bit more useful, like a reading nook. What people are looking for in a master bedroom, they're looking for a bit of a retreat.
Fair enough.
Now, it's been on the market for 5 months. Do you think the price might have affected its saleability?
You know, you have parking, you have an enormous lot in the downtown area. I don't think it's overpriced.
It is slightly overpriced in this condition, but that's why we're here. But you have to take the plunge and help me turn this house around.
Yeah, I will do.
Good. George's semi has character, history, good bones, and is in a fabulous location. But after 5 months on the market and 88 viewings, this classic beauty is no closer to getting a suitor, not a buyer in sight. Now, I'm wondering whether the price tag of $699,000 might be part of the problem. So I'm going to go and have a chat with Sheila, George's real estate agent, to find out why she thinks this house isn't selling. $699, Sheila. Seems like quite a lot to me. Is that a bit high or on the money?
When we took the listing, George was quite insistent on a $699. Okay.
As a real estate agent, you know, you've got to get to a stage, you know, 5 months, 88 viewings.
Yes.
So is there a point where you are going to say, George, I believe in your house, but at $699, I can't sell it?
George has said to me, Sheila, now you won't bully me to reduce the price.
Typical man. They hate being bullied. Hate it.
And I said, no, George, I won't.
Okay.
I think I must be a wussy or a whatever. I don't like to be that aggressive with them.
What is the feedback you've had from viewers?
People have complained about the cigarettes. I did ask him would he remove the shears, and he sort of snapped at me, and I kind of laughed, so I had to let that go, because he thinks that people should be able to see past that. But
if I had $1 for every time someone said that to me, I would be incredibly rich. So have you given him this feedback?
Yes, he knows. I mean, I've followed up on showings, and he knows.
Open houses, have you had open houses?
No public open houses. No public open houses. He did not want people crawling through his house.
So at the moment, the marketing is for sale sign and MLS. Now, what are you going to do once we have transformed the inside of the house?
Well, we're going to have it rephotographed.
Yep.
And there will be a new for sale sign go up.
And you're going to come back from the open house?
I am.
Bring some buyers with you. It appears George is too stubborn and perhaps his agent a bit too nice. So I'm taking George to a comparable house that sold in 8 days for an amazing $45,000 over asking. George, I brought you here because this is a comparable house. It blends in with the neighbourhood.
Well, I think it looks very nice.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I like the colour.
And more importantly, no one is going to be put off by the exterior. Anyway, come on in. Now, I know what you're thinking.
Well, it's a little smaller than my house.
It is considerably smaller than your house. What I like about this room is it is immaculate. They've used a really nice colour. It makes the room feel big and bright and well-maintained.
I agree totally with you on that.
Oh, that's good. The fact is, bright, up-to-date sells.
Yeah, I can well understand that.
Got a beautiful bed, matching linen. It's all about creating an atmosphere.
My idea of the bedroom is a sort of secondary thing.
But you shouldn't treat it like that when you're selling.
Yes, I understand that.
You understand that. Now, do you want to know how quickly this house sold, George?
Oh, yes, that would be nice.
8 days.
Oh, that's pretty quick, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you want to know how much above asking?
Yes.
6%.
Ah.
So, this should be making you smile. Do you know why?
Yeah.
Because your house is bigger, it's better, it's got more character, and it's going to look fantastic.
Oh, let's hope so. I think it will.
Come on, then. We've got work to do. Anthony Sayers, our general contractor, is going to make George's house shine. I was telling George earlier how I've kind of fallen in love with this house.
Yep.
But it does need some serious TLC to get it up to the standard that I think buyers are looking for. And we need to start outside. The crazy blue and gold.
We need to paint both brick and wood outside. Okay?
Now, the next area I think that we really need to pay attention to is the bedroom.
Yeah.
Just not looking at its best, is it, George?
No, it isn't.
No. Now, the walls look a little tatty. What are we going to do with them?
Well, I have this fabulous new product, right, that you actually put on the wall, and it just helps smooth the wall out.
It's a wallpaper that you put on the wall and you paint over it.
Yes.
And once the wall is really smooth, I'm going to make that a really interesting reading room off the side of your master bedroom.
Yeah, that sounds fine.
On the main floor, we need a fresh coat of paint everywhere.
All I see is buckets and buckets of paint, and it's going to be quite a challenge.
But once we do it, it's going to look absolutely fantastic. This is an incredible house.
So are you ready to do some work, George?
Yes, I am.
Come on, then.
Excellent.
With this type of house at this price point, room presentation is key. Throwing away outdated articles is a sure way of indicating the house hasn't been left neglected in other areas. Resting on your laurels just because your house is one of a kind doesn't get a sale. Revealed surfaces that are clean and decluttered win over today's picky buyer. The makeover's barely begun and already George senses a change in the air. George's house has been on the market for a whopping 5 months. He refuses to have open houses, but there have been a remarkable 88 showings. So his South American dream is still on hold. We've only got 3 days before the open house. First, we're tackling the exterior with a new paint job. It's not as intimidating as you might think and can make a huge difference to curb appeal.
Someone told me you needed a drop cloth, which is exciting because it means you're painting the house.
Yes, thank you.
How are we going to make it pretty?
Well, first thing is that we need to neutralize this blue.
You mean paint it another colour?
Yes. When you do an outdoor painting, I would say 50% of it would be prep work.
Right.
So scraping any loose paint, cleaning the surface, just preparing it so that the paint will adhere to the surface, okay? George has already power washed all the brick for us.
Go, George.
Yeah.
So are we going to need 1 coat, 2 coats?
If it's a good paint and you prepare the surface properly, you could probably get away with 1 coat.
Not only does the outside need to stand up to the competition, but so does the inside. In the living room, we're highlighting the unique historic features of the home with a fresh coat of sage-coloured paint. And we're achieving a whole new look in the dressing room. Here, old walls aren't so desirable, but we have a solution.
Now, this magic wallpaper looks like regular wallpaper to me.
Okay, but if you look at the actual wall, right? You see how rough the wall is?
Yeah.
Right? I've already done some wallpapering, and you see how fantabulous it looks?
It's very smooth.
Yeah. If you have a wall that's damaged or in rough shape, it's a great way to hide all the deficiencies in the wall, for sure.
I do quite like the embossed wallpaper on one wall like this because it creates a kind of accent wall.
Yes.
And the best thing is, wallpaper is really in vogue at the moment.
That's right.
So this magic wallpaper, you put it on and you can paint it any colour under the rainbow.
Exactly. We want to upgrade the kitchen a little bit, so the best and simplest, easiest way is to just upgrade the hardware. This is the old hardware, they're just knobs, so I'm just gonna simply remove them. And what I wanna do is, I don't wanna drill 2 new holes, I just wanna drill 1 new hole. So this is the hardware that we've chosen for these doors, and what I've done is I've made up a jig. I've just taken the handle and made the same holes on this piece of wood. It's gonna be pretty repetitive. I've got about 10 of these to do. So all this is gonna do is just help it go a lot easier and faster, and it's just gonna make sure that all my handles are lined up the exact same spot on each door. I'm gonna take my drill now, and I'm gonna place it into the hole, and I'm just gonna drill it out. Nice. Okay, so now I'm gonna put the second screw, and I'm gonna use just this hand screwdriver just to tighten it up. Just like that. It's beautiful.
Finally, the wallpaper is ready to be painted.
Ah, George, they put you to work.
Ah, yes, they have, yeah. I'm painting the wall.
The whole house just feels fresher and brighter. Already it smells less of smoke because we painted it.
Yeah.
And that's the best thing to do. If you've got a house that has any lingering smells, paint just gets rid of them. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be quite a long job, George.
Yes.
You might need some liquid sustenance at
Yes,
some stage.
probably an awful lot of it afterwards.
With the work almost complete inside and a little freshening up of the garden outside, we'll have George's house looking like the grand Victorian it should be.
Make sure you've replaced all the spent bulbs and given the body of the chandelier a wipe down with a wet cloth. And then all these prisms refract the light. It looks really glitzy and glamorous. These stick-on dragonfly accents are a great way of drawing attention to the focal point in the room, which in this case is the bed. They're brilliant because they help hide the bumps and imperfections in this wall. Hanging pictures at the wrong height is a really common mistake. They should be at eye level. Now, a good rule of thumb when hanging is 60 inches from the floor to the middle of the art. And that brings the focal point of the picture to the eye level of most people, and you don't have to be craning your neck to see the art.
With all the changes done, will the transformation finally get George a price he thinks his house deserves?
I'm in love. This place is dressed up and ready for the ball.
First impressions are lasting impressions. The exterior of George's Victorian turned the urban professional off. However, a lick of neighbourhood-friendly paint has changed all that. In the living room, the period features were overshadowed by a bland decor and zero wow factor. Now the fireplace is the focal point. The wall colour is modern, updated fabric covers the old furniture, dramatic window treatments let the light in. Now it's a grand reception room that buyers expect from a Victorian. The parlour suffered from the same lack of care. But fresh paint, classic wingback chairs that we bought used and slip-covered, and new blinds have maximised space and created a chic alternative retreat. George forgot about female buyers in the master bedroom. So we brought in a new bed frame and a headboard we found in the garage. We added fresh paint, decorative accessories and linens, and cleaned the drapes to get rid of the smoky smell. The room now has a fresh appeal. The Victorian dressing room was a wasted opportunity. Now classic wallpaper covers imperfections, new paint is in keeping with the period, and furniture adds function. For $699,000, high-end buyers will look for a home office. Classic high-end touches have now elevated George's semi back to where it should be. His beloved Victorian has finally achieved the splendour potential buyers look for in a period home.
Know when to lower your asking price. In the end, your home is only worth as much as someone is prepared to pay for it. If it's unrealistically priced, it might end up on the dustbin of listings and stay there. If your home is painted an outrageous colour on the exterior, it's going to put off a lot of buyers. Generally, people want their house to blend into the neighbourhood, not stick out like a potential eyesore. If your house is over 100 years old, play up its historical assets, but try and give it a modern flair. Your home should act its age, but not be dated, because most people don't want to feel like they're living in a museum.
So will George actually recognise his own home?
Wow. Yeah, I like those. Oh, I see Sophie's feminine touch in here. Oh, a beautiful room. Sophie and her team did a lovely job. I'm so grateful to them.
But after such a long time on the market, will the changes regain buyers' interest?
So what do you think of the outside of the house?
Looks very nice. It's really nice room. It looks great.
Yeah, it does. You can move into this house without doing anything to it. Come on in.
It's a good use of space.
Yeah.
Oh, isn't this interesting? Well, this
Nice
extra
doors.
addition room makes it very charming.
It
Very
does.
charming.
Is this a kind of house you considered coming back for a second look?
Yes, I would definitely consider coming back.
And real estate agent Sheila is just as impressed.
I feel like there should be a drum roll.
Okay. Wow.
How much easier does the transformation make for you in terms of selling it?
Basically, you actually become proud of the house.
Yeah.
Like, you don't feel that you're talking from a disadvantage.
Yeah.
Because of, just the way it showed.
This period piece is now a hit. We've taken this house from dreary to dashing. It holds its own in the neighbourhood and lives up to its past.
Just days after the Unsellables team left, George received an offer for 92% of the asking price. But once again, he turned it down. However, this house definitely has more buyer interest. The seller is not quite ready to part with it yet.